Hello and welcome to today's Trigger 2-minute tutorial. We're going to talk about cue sheet layout today, and you can see this is the project options dialog, and we're on the cue sheet layout tab, and we are currently in grid layout. There are two other styles available, but in grid layout you can see we've got the total number of rows set to 6, the number of visible rows set to 6, and the number of columns set to 6. But if we say increase the total number of rows to 10 and maybe increase the number of columns to 8 and click done, then Trigger will reconfigure the cue sheet in that layout. So you can see now that the buttons have all shunted up, and we have scroll bar on the side because we had the total number of buttons for the cue sheet is greater than the number of visible buttons. So when we scroll down, we can see the extra buttons. So the grid, the cue sheet is physically bigger than the size of our desktop, effectively. If we go back into the cue sheet layout and we switch to standard mode, then you can see in this instance our grid disappears and the cue buttons are laid out horizontally from the top left to the bottom right. And if we go back into cue sheet layout and make that vertical now and click done, we'll see what happens. And you can see we're actually in step to next mode at the moment, which I haven't discussed yet with you. But if we go through the step to next, you'll see that the cursor, the step to next cursor, moves vertically down the cue sheet, and then it would go down from top left to bottom right, but vertically this time. Finally, I'm going to touch on freeform mode, and it's all looking a bit messy because we haven't set this up, but effectively in freeform mode you're free to drag buttons around wherever you like, and each individual button can change its shape. You can change them, have circular buttons, diamond shaped buttons, rectangular buttons, or whatever. So you could configure your cue sheet to look more like a flowchart if you so wish. Okay, well that concludes today's tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it and will join me next time.